And I believe we are live. Let's go. Let me, as usual, announce this on the Discord. Message everyone, notify everyone. There you go. Cool. So we're live, guys. I'll give a bit of time just for everyone to come in here to the live. Yeah, I'm getting the email notification. Great. I'm not gonna try to live restream this on TikTok like I did last time because I got like heavy warnings and stuff for like non-original content apparently, even though I'm doing my own content. So there's that. Great. Guys, so many things have happened since the last stream. We're launching an app today, which is really cool. We did it. We like finished the app. It's fully up and working. It's already on the app stores and like public beta and like testing. And I'm excited to share with you the progress that we've made since the last stream. To share the app with you, to have you all start using it, start testing it, and really validate the concept and see if this is something that is worth pursuing. I really hope that it is, because I genuinely love the idea. I think there's more that we can do to the app, which I'm going to talk about in the stream. And yeah, let's see. You're scared. What are you, that was in Romanian, the first commenter. What are you scared of? AUR and PSD. What's that? Hello, Isuru. Welcome. People are starting to join in. Nice, guys. Okay. I'm just going to leave this over here, this screen over here while people join in. Let me see if I can put this somehow. Is this going to work? It's good enough. Good enough. There you go. Cool. So yeah, you can see it here. Let me just minimize this. You can see it here, the app. Habit Quest, RPG, Habit Tracker. So yeah, it's officially online. This is a public website that you can access right now. And you can get the app. Hello, Selchuk. Hello. Pratik. Hello. What's up? Nicholas. Hello. Let's go. Love from India. Let's go. Cool. So enough people are here. Let's talk about it. So, oh, this is localhost. Actually, this is localhost. It's this is my just local dev environment. Let me just see if my editor. No, it's closed, so this won't work. Okay, cool. We officially launched the app, and you can find it by going to habitquest.io. Go here to this website, habitquest.io. There it is. You can have it. I will put this in the chat real quick. Let me just do habitquest.io. There you go. Can I pin my own message? Is that a thing? This doesn't work. Anyways, you go to habitquest.io, okay? And you can download the app. You can choose your platform. You can do it either on the App Store and Google Play. It's out on both platforms. And you can download the app and you can start testing it. The app is not fully released on the App Store. It's released in test version. What that means is when you click this link over here, for Apple, for example, you're going to get to this screen, which is going to say, step 1, get test flight. Test Flight is the Apple official testing app. This is not spam or anything like that. You need to download this app to be able to test applications on your iPhone, right? That's the way that Apple does their testing. So the first one is you just download Test Flight. It's a free app. It's on the App Store. It's an Apple official app, so it's safe to download. You download that one, and then you click the link over here, right? And you can just start testing the app, right? This is the link to it, right? You can just press this button, you'll be invited, you can use a public link, and then you can just access the app. On the Google Play Store, it is simpler, I think. This is the actual link. You can just go here. You can just download this app straight up, install it, and then start using it. You don't have to go through like an external app. It is going to be a test app. So remember, this is only for testing purposes. When this test phase is over, this beta is over, I'm going to actually officially launch this on the app stores. So that's going to be like officially available for everyone. But for now, for us, for like this community, I'm just releasing it for beta testing. So you guys can test it, see how things work, if things are broken, if things are not broken. Hopefully they aren't, because I've spent a lot of time trying to fix this. And yeah, test it and just see how it goes. So that's for the app, right? Now, let me show you what the app actually looks like, because since the last time that we've been on the stream, you don't speak English, but it's fun. There you go. This is visual. I hope you can understand visually what's going on with the app. So since the last time that we were on the stream, I've essentially gone ahead and like added a whole bunch of like different features to the app, and I'm going to walk you through them. I'm going to walk you through the app, how it works. Leave me feedback on the in the comments over here. There's also a feedback form that you can also click, which I'll show you, of what you think on the app, because my essential goal with this is I want to see if this is something that people actually want to use, if this is something that people want to use often, right? If they keep coming back to the app and not that they just download it once and then never end up using it actually. And yeah, see if this is something that we can pursue, and if so, how? What makes sense for us to build? What makes sense for us to change? What is clear? What isn't clear, right? In terms of like the whole app and everything, in terms of the features and how it works and all of that, right? All of these things, we have to kind of figure it out. And you need users to be able to figure that out. You need to be able to have users on the app. You need to have analytics set up, which I have. I'll go over my whole setup as well. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there. So, recap. First, you can download the app. You can use it right now. And now I'm going to walk you through how it works and everything from start to finish. Then I'm going to show you the code that we've done since the last live stream. And then we're going to do some dev on it if we have time. Because I want to there's some things that I need to do regardless of what happens with the app. If we ever want to publish this to the App Store, there's some things that I haven't done that are required. They're not required when you're testing the app, but they're required when you actually publish it. So we're going to do that. Oh, we have some people here. Let's go. Hamasaki, let's go. Lose 100 subscribers. Yeah, I also reached 100K subscribers, guys. That's like, I'm very proud of that. I was on vacation for the past 2 weeks, and just this Monday, I was in Athens in Greece. I was having like my favorite dessert in Greece, and I think even arguably in the world. It's like this really dirty cheesecake with full of chocolate. It's so sweet that for some people it's too much. For me, I love it. I was having that as I hit 100,000 subscribers, which was, really fun, really great. I'm super happy. I'm super proud. And I have to extend a many great thanks to all of you watching, because this couldn't have been possible without every single one of you watching right now. All right. So thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, for watching the videos, for wanting to use my channel to learn React. Much appreciated. Right. And, I plan to keep this going. I plan to continue. I have big plans for the channel. I'm working on a lot of different things right now, some of which you're seeing, right? Like the app and other things. And yeah, the plan is to keep growing it, to keep providing value. And really, my whole entire objective and everything that I want to do is I want to be known as the React guy, right? Like, you want to learn React, or you need to know something of how this works in React or something, I'm your guy, right? That's my whole entire goal. I want to build that reputation. I feel that I'm, making progress towards that, but I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm having so much fun along the way. So it's a win-win-win for all parties. Abel is here. Let's go, Abel. Abel, dude, I sent you on Discord, man, the app. There you go. I sent in the FE small bug. Okay, you sent the feedback already. Nice, nice. I will check the feedback, bro. We're going to check it together right now. Let me know how you find the app, Abel. If you see yourself actually using it or not, it's totally fine, right? If not, let me know why, so I can see if there's something to change, right? Because there's definitely things that I would want to change in the app to just make it a little bit more useful. But we're good for now. I'm really excited. Cool. So let me just kill my entire database. This is going to be running locally, so I'm just going to kill my entire database. And then what happened? Let's close all of this. Habit quest. Let's load from Metro. There we go. Cool. Cool. So this is the app. This is the app. Habit quest. Level up your life, right? I like this. First of all, I like the name. It was called Habit Hero before, but a lot of people actually have apps that are called Habit Hero. Like if you Google it on the App Store, there's a few that come up. And I was like, I don't want to take that name. I don't want to be just like one of the other ones. I want a more unique name. And I chose Habit Quest. I actually went to ChatGPT to like help me generate the names. I chose Habit Quest because I like it. It's very explanatory what it is, right? Especially when you put it like here, RPG Habit Tracker. Like it's very clear what this is, right? And it's unique. No one else is using Habit Quest. I snagged the domain, habitquest.io. Super happy with it. And that's going to be the name. And if we ever add like quests in the future, which I would really love to do, I just have to see if this app is validated first, then it's going to fit even more with the name. So yeah, so Habit Quest, level up your life. The app looks very cool. Thank you so much, man. I'm not a designer, so I tried my best. Ideally, I would love to bring a little bit more design into it, but for now, for the MVP, it's fine. But yeah, so this is the main screen. This is what you're going to get when you first open up the app. You're going to press here, get started, and then you're going to name your character. So choose a unique name for your character. So here, let me just remove the keyboard so I can actually type. I'm going to do Cosden because I am Cosden. And then you're going to customize your appearance, right? So remember on past live streams, we were working on this, on the character, on the assets. I went through the painstaking effort of like creating all of these assets, man, which is very tedious. And you're going to see just how many assets there are in this game at this point, in this app rather. It's quite insane. So I like had to like draw every single asset like pixel by pixel, export them in all of their different variations, because there are variations of each like individual asset, and it's tough, man. It's like painstaking and like it's brain numbing, you know. And I was like basically on vacation on the beach in Greece, and I was like creating assets and like, you know, buttoning, and like it was just it was tedious, but I done it, and I'm happy that I've done it, and I'm really proud of like how everything came out. There's still some changes that I want to do to like the assets eventually, minor changes, but for now it's fine. So here you have your appearance, you have your character. I'm very happy to announce that female works great. It's not the most beautiful haircut, I know. Again, I'm not an artist, deal with it. But you can change the hairstyle. So this, I think, looks a little bit more like a woman's hairstyle. Or even this one as well. Again, public beta, we're testing this app. It's fine like this. I will add more, you know, we'll make this prettier. But we have female, right? And they're completely interchangeable. But notice that it's not only the hairstyle that changes, it's also the body and the equipment. So this over here, this top part over here is the like a tunic, right? Which is like a thing that people wore in like the medieval times. If you go to female, it's the same item. It just looks different, right? So I had to create two versions of the same asset. And unfortunately, I had to create two versions of most assets in this app because female and male look different, right? And then I had to configure the code to actually handle all of that. So I'm going to show you how that works. I think I found a very elegant solution code-wise, and I'm very happy with it, right? And then let's go back to male here because I'm a male, right? You can change your skin color. If you're on iOS, if you're using this app on iOS right now, there's actually a bug that when you change your skin color over here, your face disappears. Like your eyes and your mouth just like disappear. That's fixed. It's fixed on my local version because obviously I have the latest code. The update is pushed on the App Store. It's just under review, right? So if you have a missing face, I know about it. It's on the feedback board and it's fixed. It's just waiting review. If you're on Android, it has already been fixed. It's been reviewed. It's been approved. It's already live, so you don't have this problem. Cool. So I'm going to select this one and I'm going to do, I like this hairstyle. And now you also have hair colors. So we have gray over here, which I did. We have black, which really visually, I have to change this. Doesn't look too different than the brown one. So if I go back here to brown, they pretty much look the same, even though they're like really not the same. And then we have blonde as well, because I wanted to add a bit of color so you can have blonde. That's all the hair colors for now. But I can easily add like red, blue, you know, make it whack, add new hairstyles and stuff. It's just very tedious. And I didn't have the time and I didn't want to like go overboard before I validated this app. Too many ads are coming. Dude, my ad settings on YouTube are set to like the minimal. So there could be more. And I don't. I just set to the minimal. The reason why I even set ads in the first place is because that usually helps promote the live a bit more. If you have ads running on the live stream, then YouTube makes money, right? Not only you, but YouTube makes money. I don't think I even make much money from these live streams. YouTube makes money, and then they tend to like push the thing further, right? So that's the only reason I have them, but I have them set to very conservative. So let me know if that's too much. Again, I'm new to streaming, so I'm not 100% sure like how much is good ads versus not. But I try to be like the minimal amount while still letting YouTube do its thing. Cool. So that's the character, right? So let's say we're satisfied with this. We press continue. We're going to allow notifications. I've already allowed them on this app, so nothing's popping up. You press continue, and then you're here on the home page. So you guys have seen this page before. This was there pretty much from the beginning of this app. You have the same, it just looks a little bit different, but you have the same functionality here to like create a habit. So you can press create a habit, and then you create your habit. And then you can set the name over here. So for example, we can say, let me say workout, right? I want to work out, right? And then difficulty. So you can select the difficulty for the habit. Is it something that's really easy to do, like trivial to do? Is it something that's, you know, medium, hard, very hard? You get to choose this for yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself about what this means to you. I'm not doing anything, putting anything in place to like prevent you from cheating or something. Like if you want to do a very hard habit, but it's actually super easy, you can. All of this data is not even going anywhere. It's like all stored locally. So it's your own data. So really you're cheating yourself. But if you want to, that's fine. No judgment, right? This app is yours. Use it in any way that you want, but you can completely customize the difficulty over here. And then we have something that wasn't there before. It is the attribute. So this is a very important concept about this app. So let me open up this attribute, right? So every habit has an attribute. Okay, remember that. That's very important. You press here, and now you can select the attribute that you want this habit to essentially improve, right? So you have a character, which we've seen. The character has all of these different attributes, which are like the standard attributes for like an RPG, right? You have strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, luck, and charisma, right? Nothing new there. You can select the attribute, so in this case, strength, right? And that will give you experience in that attribute on your character, right? It's similar to as if you're playing like a game, and then you select, I want to train my strength right now. So you go and like you attack like cows or something, right? Throw a reference to RuneScape if you know what that is. You go to cows like near Lumbridge, and then you set your strength, you set your attack, and then you're training in that, right? I kind of modeled that, right? And the goal here is you can choose what attribute you want to put on whatever workout, right? You can put any of these attributes. It doesn't really matter. It's how you want to actually level up your character and how you want to progress your character, right? And essentially, your character is going to be a virtual representation of your own progress, right? That's kind of the goal, right? It's to give you an extra incentive, an extra motivation to do your habits, to become better in real life by having this virtual character that can level up, that has all of these attributes that can get better. And then as you're going to see with all of these attributes, you're actually going to get and unlock different things in the app, better armor, better weapons, more functionality in the app. And there's actually a strategy of how you would want to approach this, which again, you can choose your own strategy. So it's like, it's a bit more involved, right? And all of this in the hopes that if you're into this type of things, right? Like RPGs, gaming stuff, you don't necessarily have to be a gamer, but like you just have to, you know, be familiar with these concepts, and you want to also better yourself. This is an app for you, at least in its current state, right? How we go from here, what we change, remove, add, all depends on how you guys use it, what you find useful from here, and then we're gonna, you know, take it from there, right? So each of these attributes here, right, tell you a little bit about what they do. So for example, strength, you can equip better weapons and become stronger. Yo, Bogdan, what's up? Dude, we're launching the app right now. I'm going over the app. Bogdan's, yeah, he's here. Let's go. Cool. Right, so strength, equip better weapons and become stronger. Dexterity, oh, when I click this, it goes away. Dexterity, equip better bows and increase XP gain, right? So we're going to see this. What does increase XP gain mean, right? Then we have constitution, equip better armor, increase health, and decrease damage taken. All of these things are things in the app. Intelligence, equip better staffs, increase habit limit, and unlock streak freezes. Luck, increase item drop chance and coins received. And then charisma, increase item sell price, right? So each one of these attributes has a specific function in the app for your character, and it all comes together in what I think is a very cool system, right? I'm just, again, really excited to see what you guys think about this, because it's not enough what I think. I want to see what you guys think and if you also like it. Cool. So we're doing the workout here. So let's put strength over here, because I want to train my strength with my workout. I didn't have to. I could put anything that I wanted, but for myself, I want my workout to reflect in my strength on my character. Then we're going to set the interval and repeat days. So this is pretty standard. You can set it to daily, so every single day. You can say it to weekly, which is, any days of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. Or you can set it to monthly, any specific days in the actual month. You can customize this in any way that you want. Make this habit fit your schedule, and, it would just work. Congrats for your app. Thank you very much, man. I'm really excited about it. Cool. Then you can set a time over here, right? So let's put, for example, 6 p.m. Now, here's the thing. I'm not entirely sure of the time on a habit, right? Because I would see a world where habits are not necessarily time dependent, but they're day dependent, right? For example, if I wanted to have something like drink water, right? You don't drink water only once in the day, right? You drink water all throughout the day. But if you're trying to build a habit of drinking more water and being more hydrated, right, you would want a way for this app to allow you to input that you've drank enough water, maybe even input the amounts that you've drank throughout the day, right? And then once you reach that certain amount, then is it considered complete? So in that case, it wouldn't need necessarily a time, right? So I'm not sure about the time. It is here for now because that's how it was in the routines app, which again, this is a fork of. But if the time is not necessarily pertinent for the habits, then I'm just going to move it in the notification reminders so that you can set the actual time that your notification reminders are going to remind you to do your habit on, right? Even so, I think at this point, I'm not doing anything extra with the time besides using it for the notifications and also figuring out the order of your habits during your day. But I think that's it. So that would be an easy fix. So again, I'm not sure on the time. It is there for now. We're going to leave it, and it is what it is. Well done with the form design. Real interactive and straightforward. Thank you so much, man. I tried to keep this as simple as possible while still having you be able to customize things, right? So let's see how it goes, right? I like it so far. And if we need to add something to it, which we probably will, right? We always should add it with the intention to not break this like minimalism and efficiency. That's generally my goal. Cool. So let's create the habit. And there we go. We created our habit. So now we have the workout habit with the icon here of strength. So now we visually see that this habit is going to work our strength. Cool. As you can see here as well, we have beginner objectives and this progress bar that kind of progressed as we created our habit. If we click on this, you get your beginner objectives. Someone said dark mode. Dude, dark mode, I have it. Come on, dude. I just put light mode because it's easier for you to see in the live stream, but dark mode fully works and it's like well designed as well. There you go. So yeah, you go to beginner objectives, and this was done here. I literally stole this from like another app. This was done so to give you kind of something to do right away, right? Your beginner objectives, to kind of tell you what you're supposed to do in the app, kind of teach you and act as like an onboarding step, right? To teach you like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. And also you get coins and you're going to receive some starter items when you complete all of these different things, right? So you're going to, here's the things you have to do. You have to create a habit, which we've done. So created a habit for the first time. It's checked, right? So it's done. And then you have complete habit. So we have to complete a habit for the first time. So let's do that, right? We have a habit. Let's do it. So let's come here and let's complete a habit. And how do I switch that on the fly? It is Command Shift A. That, let's see, where does that go? It goes here, features, and then toggle appearance. There you go. Command Shift A. It just toggles the appearance in the actual iOS simulator, right? If this was an actual, on your actual phone, you would have to go into your device settings and actually change it. If you go here to settings, you're going to see preferences, color scheme. It's going to say set by device. It is light because it is set by the device that you're on, right? I didn't do any other complex like customization, like having dark mode on this app, but having the rest of your device light mode. That's something for later. I'm going to do it later. It's fine. For now, this is sufficient. Yeah. So yeah, that's the onboarding. That's the thing, right? So we have to complete a habit. Bogdan saying, love this onboarding. Thank you. I really hope so. Biraj, is it live? It is live. Go to habitquest.io. Go to habitquest.io, find it, click on your platform. You're going to be directed to the actual Play Store or App Store. Download it, join the beta. This is a beta test. It's not fully out on the app stores, but it's an open public beta, which means that everybody that has access to this link, which is all of you, you can go download it on your device and test it and help make this better. Cool. So yeah, let's complete our beginner objective, complete a habit, right? So let's do it. I'm going to come here and complete it. And then as soon as I complete it, boom, 30 experience, right? I got experience from my habit. And I also got here, it's a bit not that easy to see. Again, we can work on the UI later on, but also level up here, right? You've leveled up an attribute because 30 experience is enough to get you past level 1 in an attribute, right? So that's what this is saying here. Remember in one of our past streams, one of the earlier ones, we were doing the actual leveling and stuff like that. We've come so far, man. Like we've come so far. Like we spent what, like an hour trying to figure out all of the levels. Oh, my camera died. Let me fix it. We spent like an hour trying to figure out all of these levels and stuff, and we did it. And look where we've come, man. I'm super happy. I'm super proud of it. Cool. So we have 30 experience level up, and then we got some rewards, 30 coins, right? So you get rewards every time that you do your habits, and you get experience in the actual attribute that your habit actually has. Great. So let's click claim, and let's claim our actual rewards. And then we also get streak increased. You completed your habit 1 time in a row. Great. Yeah, you completed 1 habit in a row. So there's also this concept of a streak, right? So you have to do your habit every time that it is due for it to actually increase the streak. And if you don't, you lose the streak. It's another way to like motivate you to like stick to your habits, you know? So there you go. We have 1 streak. Let's press continue. And there we go. Now we've completed our first habit. And as you can see here, our beginner objectives are, oh, I actually have a notification here. Ignore that. That's from another version of the app. Don't worry about that. That's nothing. We have our beginner objectives here. And there we go. We've completed, create a habit, complete a habit, and also level up an attribute. Because remember, it said leveled up. We got enough experience to level up an attribute. I will show you how to see your actual progress on the actual attributes later in the stream. But yeah, and now you can click claim rewards. Now, the only thing that I'm not sure about, I was watching my girlfriend use the app, and she was at this state in the app. She had created a habit, 2 habits, and completed 1 of them. And that got her enough levels and experience to do all of the beginner objectives, right? She did not know that you have to then tap here to claim the rewards, right? It is not obvious. It is obvious to me because I've built it, right? You tap here and you actually get the objectives, but it's not obvious to maybe other people, right? So we're going to have to change that, right? To make it more obvious. But to get your beginner objectives, you click here and then you claim your rewards. So let's claim it and let's see what we got. Well done. You've completed all beginner objectives, right? I love like presenting screens like this to the user because it gives dopamine, right? It gives you like a satisfaction that you've done something, you've completed something, you get rewarded, right? Triggers the dopamine in the brain, which triggers you to hopefully want to use the app more, right? That's the whole point of this. So we've gained over here 100 coins, a bronze sword, and a bronze square shield. So these are all items that are available in the application, and now we've gained them, right? So let's see. Let's press continue. And let's see. Cool. Let's answer some comments. Is this React Native? Yes, it is. 100% React Native. It's great. I'm really happy with the performance of this app. Like running it on iOS, it's like butter smooth. And you almost cannot tell that this is a React Native app. You almost cannot tell, man. It feels so native because most of the behavior and the functionality is just like native driven. But it is React Native, and it allows me to, first of all, write one code base in React and JavaScript, which I know and I teach, right? And I love, and get 2 apps and really with the same code. And they're extremely performant and it just works, right? I was able to do this app like literally in a month. Like we've done, I think like 5 live streams now, and like the app is done and it's out, right? Like it was very quick to like do because I know everything about React and it's just super easy for me to like do it, right? So I would recommend React Native if you're a React developer. It's super easy to pick up. The only things that you have to like learn are the native parts, which are, you know, maybe take some getting used to it on the specific behaviors. But once you get the hang of it, you're fine and you can just code as you would in React. So again, highly recommend this. I recommend this over Flutter, definitely. And I would recommend this over native if you're trying to get 2 apps and you're a small team or maybe just yourself. Just use React Native. You're going to be able to, even if you want to hire developers, you're going to be able to hire React developers super easily, right? So I love React Native. It's great. Command Shift A sorts your state variables. It does. It does. In VS Code, it sorts your variables if you know how to and you've set it up correctly. And in this simulator, it changes the appearance. So, right, reusable shortcuts. That's the way. How to find 20 testers for Play Store. What do you mean? Do I have 20 testers already? Can we see? Actually, let's see. No, it still says 0 downloads. Even if I refresh, it still says 0 downloads. We're going to look at some analytics afterwards because I want to show you how I think about analytics in terms of this app, right? So I'll show you how that works, but I don't know how many people actually went on. Using the word app means it's React Native stuff. Yeah, it's React Native. You disable the close button, cross upright, and turn the button Claire into a shining button. Oh, yeah, with the begin objectives, yes. But it's not even obvious that you can click to get to that screen in the first place, right? I think it has to be like even before clicking. Yeah, like maybe you shouldn't be able to go to that screen again if you have everything completed. Or maybe it should just pop it open automatically. I'm not sure entirely how to do it at this point. Expo or native CLI? Expo, 100% Expo. Never going back to non-Expo. Cool. So we completed our habit. We got our coins. As you can see here, we have 130 coins. And let's see our items. So this is our character screen, which we've built together on this live stream, right? And this is our character over here. And we have the health, right? So this is something that is new. I did not have this previously. There's now this concept of health in the app. And I'm not sure what to do with the health. I'm not sure how it should behave. Right now, every time you miss a habit, you actually lose health. You lose 1 health per habit that you missed, per time that you've missed a habit, right? And if you get to 0 health, nothing happens. You just get to 0 health, right? I have to figure out what behavior, like do I lock something in the app once you have like 0 health? Do I, you know, whatever? I don't know yet. For now, it's just work in progress. If you get 0 health, you can buy a potion to fill it up, which I have a whole system for potions. It's really cool. And yeah, so that's the health, right? So that I added. So now we have our sword over here and our shield. So what I can do is I can press it and now I can see details about the sword. So description, a sword made of bronze. Required attributes, strength 1. So that's a concept. Every item has required attributes, right? So a bronze sword needs 1 strength, right? It's the beginner sword. So you can do it with 1 strength. As soon as you start your character, all of your attributes are 1. So you're going to have access to at least the beginner stuff, right? This follows the same model that RuneScape does. Level 1 gets you bronze, right? Level 5 gets you iron. Level 10 gets you steel, and so on. I modeled it exactly the same, just with my own twist, because I just love RuneScape and I love the system that they've implemented, right? So that's the bronze sword, right? So strength 1. And then rarity, common, right? So now there's also this concept of common items, uncommon items, rare items, and legendary items. And I really, really hope that we get to use these because I have so many ideas and so many things to do with all of these different items and all of these attributes and all of the things that you can do with this app. There's so many things that we could do, right? We just have to validate the idea first. And the core mechanic of what is the app and what you as a user, you do, like the core loop of what you do on the app has to be something that is worth coming back to the app to use ideally as a user every day, right? That's the whole point, right? You have habits that you want to do, hopefully every day. You use this app every day to do those habits, to get progress and to level up. That's the concept. And I really hope that we can get there, right? I really, really hope so. Cool. So you can equip the sword, right? So we can equip the sword over here, and now it's boom, it's on us. Great. We can come here to our shield. We have the same thing, a square shield made of bronze. This one has Constitution 1 as a required attribute, right? So shields, armors require Constitution because that's like your health, your defense, your resilience, all of that. All of the weapons and stuff require strength because that's the weapons. Again, follows the same model as RuneScape. This one is also common, right? Now, you also have sell value over here, right? So every single item has a sell value. So I don't have to equip this item if I don't want. I can sell this item as well to get more coins. Get more coins, why? Well, perhaps to purchase more and other and better items, right? So you can do that. I'm not going to do it. I mean, I could do it. Let's sell it. Why not? Let's sell it. So I have 130 coins right now. If I sell it, item sold successfully. Great. And then I have 138 coins, but I no longer have a shield, right? That's totally fine. We can come here and we can actually, before that, let me show you what else you can do before we go to the coins. You can press and hold any single item, and then you can click anywhere and you can move that item in your inventory. All right, that's a normal kind of behavior in a lot of like games, right? You have your inventory, you can place items, whatever. And this works when you buy new items, when you sell new items, like everything finds a position and just goes there. And you can organize this in any way that you want to make this a little bit cleaner, or just organize it as you want. And that is persistent when you reload, right? And you go back here to your inventory, they stay exactly the same, right? That's a really simple and cool kind of quality of life thing that I did. You can have this, just press and hold any item and you can get the item to actually work. Can I play it right now? Yes, you can. Go to habitquest.io and click here and you're going to find it. habitquest.io, all one word. And it's very interesting that if you look, guys, in the comments of the YouTube live stream, SW217 said, can I play it right now? Play it is something that you say to a game, right? So is this a game? It sure looks like one, right? But it's a habit tracker. So it's an app that's gamified, right? Maybe this is a game and we just don't know it yet. Maybe the habit stuff doesn't end up working out. Right now, it's the only way to get like experience and to level up a character. But maybe in the future, we do something else. Maybe we turn this into a game. I don't know, right? It's just very interesting that he said, play it instead of use it, right? So something to think about, you know? The bronze sword looks kind of like the wooden sword from Minecraft. Dude, yeah, it's pixel art, right? This is like a combination of RuneScape, of Minecraft, of MapleStory, of another game that maybe I used to play that is less known, Ragnarok Online. These are like, as a kid, I was heavily into also World of Warcraft. I was heavily into like MMORPGs, right? Like massive multiplayer online role-playing games. And this is definitely inspired. And I took the best of at least what I liked of all of these games and I tried to put them inside of this app. Now, there's a lot more than is on the surface with this app, right? For example, even if this app doesn't work out in the way that I hope it's going to work out, there's other things that I could do. I could take this and I can make 5 different apps that are different, have a different concept, using this as a base, right? And I can also, something that I would love to do, it's such a difficult task and it's like just a passion thing. I would love to also make a full-on like game with a game engine and everything using this, I guess, universe, right? And these assets for now, right? So all of this that I'm building here is not just for this app. I'm testing it for this app, seeing if it works. If not, I have different options that we can do. And ultimately, I have a game that, like, you know, in the future, something that is potentially can be able to do, right? So nothing here is wasted. Everything here is like kind of strategically used. So definitely, yeah, you're gonna see like the actual assets themselves and even the characters themselves, they look Minecraft-y, right? They're not like 3D, they're 2D, right? But it's like pixel art, they're blocks, right? So it is similar to Minecraft. The items as well, they're similar to Minecraft, right? But the way that they function with required attributes and whatnot, that's completely taken from RuneScape. And the way that they function with like rarities, common, uncommon, a rare and legendary, that's taken from World of Warcraft, right? I just combined all of these systems into something that hopefully makes sense. Hello there. Hey, Mobin, I just joined. Welcome. Go to habitquest.io and take it from there. That's all I'm going to say. habitquest.io. What do you do if your inventory is full and a realization gives you an item, but it doesn't have room? Sell it automatically? No. Right now, you're out of luck. You just don't get the item. I'm sorry. That's the way it behaves right now. It just checks if you have enough slots in your inventory. If you don't, too bad. I don't even show an alert or anything. It's fine. We can add that later. It doesn't matter, right? It's fine. Also, like something that I really want to show when we look at the code for this is this is my best code so far that I've written, right? And I'm very, very proud of it. But it's not the best in terms of the most efficient, the most, clean code. It's definitely clean and definitely efficient and like follows best practices and all of that. But it's just efficient in terms of like actually working and getting something out, shipped, that looks like this in an extremely short amount of time. And then being able to change, add, remove things super easily to kind of fit the use case of the product, right? This is a product that a lot of things can change. We don't know if things are going to work out or not, right? And I've done the code in such a way where like making those changes is extremely simple, right? So I'm very, very proud of this. And I'm actually going to make a video about this as well tomorrow to post on the channel because what I've done with the code is really, really interesting. Cool. So, yeah. So that's what you can do with the inventory. Now, if you press here on the actual coins, you go to the market, right? You go to the market and then you can buy different things. Man, you guys are commenting. Let's go, man. I'll get to the comments. You have the market here and you can buy different things. You can buy health potions, which I currently have enough coins to buy. So you tap on a health potion. It's a potion made from grinded herbs that restores health. And the effects of it is it heals 100% of your total health. And you need 1 constitution to be able to use it, right? So this is a health potion. It has effects. The effects are completely dynamic, which means that no matter in code, I can add different effects. I can add 50%, 75%, any value that I want, and it's just automatically going to work. I set up that whole effect system, which is really simple, but really efficient. So again, I'm very proud of it. So yeah, we can buy this. We're not going to buy it. Then we have like streak freezes, right? Which essentially freeze all of your habit streaks for X amount of days. This is something that I took directly from Duolingo. They offered this feature. Because I have streaks, I also wanted to offer this feature. It is here. Let's see if people actually use it. And then you have all of the items. So swords. You have bronze sword, iron sword, steel, obsidian, emerald, gold, and diamond. So that's kind of the progression, right? Bronze, iron, steel, obsidian. This is black in RuneScape terms, but I wanted to make it obsidian. It's cooler and it's also real. Emerald, gold, and diamond, right? So you have actual colors. Like this is the emerald sword. You need 30 strength to be able to wield it and even buy it, right? And it's 400 coins, right? Which is not that expensive, but at least compared to a diamond sword, which you need 50 strength and it's rare, it costs 8,000 gold, right? So this is here as something for you to work on, right? As you're progressing your habits, you unlock all of these different things and you can equip your character with better and better armor, right? And the whole point is, again, your character is a representation of your actual, of your progress in real life with the actual habits that you're doing. So that's kind of what I was going for, right? So you have all of these. You have like plate body, plate legs, boots, closed helm, right? These are like your armor. And again, in all the different sets. Then you have shields. You have round shields, square shields. Again, for all of the different materials. You have axes, obsidian, all of that. You have bows. These are wooden, oak, willow, maple, yew. These, again, follow similar to RuneScape as well. You have staffs if you want to do some magic, which there's no current magic right now besides freezing your streak, but potentially there will be. So you have staffs. You have capes, which are just decorative, right? So like a blue cape, a green cape, a white cape. And then you have any other miscellaneous items like boots, a skirt, trousers, robes and stuff. That's basically your clothes that you have equipped, right? So this is the market. You can buy things, right? With your coins, you can unlock things and you have a sense of progression and you put all of these things to your character and your character becomes better, becomes really cool. And that's a visual representation of the progress that you're making in real life with yourself, right? So that's the whole concept. And then we have over here this dual swords, which is the attributes. So again, someone asked, how do the attributes work, right? So each attribute, you can level them by assigning habits to that attribute. And as you complete your habits, you get experience in the attribute. And you level up your attributes. And then here you can see all of the things that you unlock with each attribute. And I'm going to mention it again. There is a strategy involved with this, and because this affects the app and how you use the app. And I'm going to show you right now what I mean by that. So strength, right? Level 1, you can equip bronze swords. You can equip bronze axes. Straightforward. Level 5, it's iron. Level 10, it's steel. Level 20, obsidian. 30, emerald. 40, gold. 50, diamond. Right? That's kind of the general progression. At each level, you'll have like all of these different metals. Also for like constitution, right? It follows a specific pattern, right? So you need to level up your strength to be able to have better and better swords, right? That's the way that this works. Then you go here to dexterity, which is kind of what you use as a bowman, as an archer, as a ranger. You can here equip wooden bows at level 1. You can equip oak bows at level 10. And you also get increased experience rate by 10%, which means that at level 10 dexterity, every time you do your habit, you get 10% more experience. At level 20, you get 20%. And you can equip willow bows. At level 30, 30%, maple bows. Level 40, you get 50%, so 1.5% XP. Equip yew bows. And at level 50, you double your experience rate. All right? So this is here to kind of motivate you to be like, hey, think long term, right? If you're going to be using this app to do your habits and to gain experience in your character, if you get and you put points into dexterity, you're going to eventually get more experience that you can then use, right, in your other attributes, because it's global experience, right? This applies to all attributes. So that's an element of strategy over there, right? Then you have constitution. Equip normal clothing, equip capes, equip bronze armor, and then you have iron armor, steel armor, and then here, decrease damage taken by 10%. Right now, this is the only damage from like not doing your habits. You get damage taken, this reduces it by 10%. At level 20, it's 20%. And then you equip obsidian armor, right? This goes on and follows the same pattern, whereas at level 50, you no longer take any damage. This, right, 100%. This is fine now because essentially we are only losing damage for the habits. If we ever add more things that can damage you, I might change the percentage here. We'll see. But yeah, if you're level 50, you no longer take damage from habits, right? So that's also something if you care about that, right? Intelligence gives you wooden staffs, gives you robes, and then increases your habit limit. And I think this is the most critical one, because if you go back here to the homepage, you have habit limit 1 on 3. You can only put 3 habits for now, right? And this was done with a purpose. If you get more intelligence, you can put 5. You can then put 10, right? And of course, you unlock all of the streak freezes as well and different staffs, right? If you have 5 habits, you can assign them. You can put 2 on strength. You can put whatever, and you can get more experience, right, per day, right? So that's also a strategy there as well, right? So how are you going to structure those is up to you. I'm very curious to see how people do it, if the system even makes sense in the first place, right? So that's intelligence. Then you have luck, which is pretty simple. You just increase the amounts of coins that you receive every time by 10%. And you also increase the item drop chance by 10%. Every time you do a habit, you also have a small chance of getting like a uncommon or rare item. This increases that by 10%, 20, 30, 50 all the way up to like doubling the chances of you getting an item, right? And those items, you can sell them, you can keep them for when you actually get the attributes, right? To be able to wear them, whatever they are, because they're usually going to be something like gold or diamond, right? So that's sort of also an incentive for you to like actually do your habits and collect items and keep progressing, right? So that's how the attributes work, right? And then what else? So we have our character. Then we have the analytics over here, which basically tracks how many times you've done your habit versus how many times it was due. Right now it's 100% because this habit was only due today, right? It wasn't due yesterday, it's only due today. And I've done it, right? So it's 100%. I have a streak of 1. I want to flesh out the analytics more, add charts, add a bunch of data as well, right? We're going to see if that actually makes sense, or if it doesn't, we're going to do it. And yeah, that's the analytics. And then we have our profile, which is a very simple page here. It's pretty much nothing really interesting there. And we have the settings, which allows you to like set your push notifications, handle your preferences like color scheme, vibration in the app, date and time. So when your week actually starts on. And then here is something important, the testing feedback. If you press this, it's going to take you to a form on an actual website. So let's see, this is the form. There's nothing on there. Abel, you said that you added something there. I don't see it. Someone said, can I delete a habit? No, not yet. I have to add this. We might add this on stream. I forgot to put this on. You cannot delete a habit for now. You can change it, but not delete it. Yeah, so you go here and you press testing feedback, and this brings you here to a form that you can submit feedback, any bugs, any features you want, and then you can upvote the features. And based off of this, I will essentially use this to figure out, does this make sense? What features to work on? Are people liking the app and stuff like that, right? So that's the feedback board. I will be checking this here. I added this thing here, fix character skins not having eyes. That was a bug that I mentioned earlier in the stream. I fixed it, so it's live, at least on Android. It's going to be live on iOS pretty soon. But yeah, here's how I'm going to keep track of all of the different things that, you know, I'm going to be working on. So yeah, that is the app, right? That's the work that I've done. I've came up with all of this system like on vacation, man. It's really whack that I've done all of that, but I came up with it. That's the app. That's where we're currently at. That's what's launched on the app stores. I'm very curious how people are going to use it. I'm just going to kind of show you quickly, and then we'll get to the code because I'm sure you're all excited for the code. So let's go here to KPIs, and let's go here like this. And this is basically the analytics that I have for the app. And I'm tracking different events, and you're going to use this to see how people are actually using the app, if they're using it, if not. Sometimes this takes a while to load. Oh, why do we have an error? Why do we have an error? Let's see some comments. React Native. Yes, this is React Native. How do attributes work? I hope that I've answered this. Almost died to a red lizard in game. How do you plan to monetize the app? Ads or in-app purchases? Definitely in-app purchases. I mean, dude, come on. I have coins. I have items like this. They're all locked behind like you needing to spend time to use the app. I'm just going to give you a way if you want to purchase this to like bypass the time required, right? So you're, the whole goal is I don't want to make anything behind a paywall that you couldn't get free, right? So you can get the diamond sword. You just need to have 50 strength and this amount of gold, right? I might give you, if you pay, you can buy like an XP boost thing that gives you like 10 times the XP, right? To like level you up, or like an instant attribute level up thing. So you can get to level 50 instantly and then automatically access all of these things if you pay, right? You don't have to. Right? It doesn't take anything away from people that don't spend, because that's not what I want to do, but it gives you an option if you do want to spend to buy it. That's the first obvious thing that I would do. And then I would also add like a monthly subscription. That is my plan. That would give you something, maybe would give you like more habits right off the bat, because again, these habits here, the limit that you have on the habits depends on your intelligence, right? Going back here to intelligence. As you have intelligence, you get more habits, right? I can just allow you to have more habits if you have a subscription. And also I might do like all of the analytics stuff, like complex analytics behind a subscription as well. I feel that just makes sense. That's what most apps are doing, right? But the core of it will be free, and you can go to max level completely for free without restrictions just by using the app, right? That's the whole point. If you can get things by using the app, or if you don't want to spend the time using the app and you just want them right now, pay for it and you can get it. That's my plan right now. Reminds me of a World of Warcraft action house. Yeah, it is similar. It's inspired by all of these games. So basically, you do real life habits to get XP in game. There you go. And you build a character and you buy better items, and the character becomes a representation of your hard work in real life. So you can actually show it, right? And you can be proud of it. You can see this character and like, if you get diamond like armor, it means that, and weapons, it means that you've done your habits quite a lot, right? And you should be proud of yourself, and hopefully that is going to make you proud. Now, disclaimer, that is what the app is in its current state, right? There's so many more things that I would want to do, like having you actually fight people and needing those items to like deal damage, right? That gives you so much more motivation to like get the items and do your habits, because you can actually fight people with it, right? Quest as well. Oh, my camera died. I got it. Quest as well, right? You need to do a quest. It either requires some items that you have to have or some attributes. And then you do the quest and it gives you more items. And the items that you have, like if you have a diamond sword, you have more chances of succeeding the quest and stuff like that. There's so many more things that I want to do. Obviously, I didn't get to them for like the first version, but this can become so much more than it is now, right? Even without the habits, I'm willing to go as far as even dropping the habits entirely and making something completely different if that's what works, right? Again, this is the Wild West. Anything can happen, and I'm very curious to see what is actually going to happen, right? Yep, you pretty well explained how attributes work. Thank you. What state management solution are you using? None. Would you believe that? Zero. I'm using React Query, which acts as my state management, but there's no client state that is shared across multiple components, except like some things I have in context. Everything is React Query based. Everything is driven by the cache in React Query. And everything just works. I buy something, I just refetch. I just invalidate the query. It just automatically gets refetched, and it's super efficient. Code-wise, performance-wise, generally it's super efficient. And also the benefit is that everything is stored locally on device in a SQLite database. So nothing is being sent across the wire over a network. Everything is pretty instant and snappy, and it just works, right? And then to allow like, oh, this is also something that I want to monetize later on, like cloud sync. So like backing things up, having it available on another device. I would allow that if you have a subscription, because that takes a server to like run and everything. I just upload the SQLite file to like a bucket in Supabase, and then just allow you to download it on another device and then just replace it, and you're good to go, right? So that design decision in terms of like the database and everything, super efficient. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turns out. By the way, after months of saving, I'm going to enroll in Project React soon. Hope it can help me land my dream job. Dude, good for you, man. Good that you were diligent enough to save for it and actually planning to get it. Good for you. The students that have been on it are super happy with the course. Feedback has been great. They've learned a lot, and it's like really a well organized and methodical course that like teaches you literally everything step by step. And I am waiting for React 19 to drop so that I can finally add the extended version, which is going to be the update, which is going to cover and refactor everything to React 19. So I'm also excited about that, and that will set you up so that you know and understand how to build a big project with React, and also how to actually build it in modern React with React 19 and all of the new features that it involves, right? So that's coming soon. As soon as the React team decides to release React 19, I'm going to also start working on that. And that will be available soon for all of you guys to use. Cool. Are you working full-time as a developer? Yes and no. I'm working for myself, if that counts. I code every day. I build projects like this every day, and I do my videos on the side. But I work for myself right now. I'm not employed with any other company. I'm actually employed with my own company. There you go. I pay myself I pay myself like minimum wage, because that's just like the most advantageous tax solution in Romania. So I pay myself like dirt cheap, and like my girlfriend and I, we joke about this all the time. It's like I overwork myself because I code like 70 hours a week, and I technically get paid minimum wage. Obviously, I get all the profits from the company, which is where I get my money from, but like officially on paper, like I have a stupid Romanian minimum salary, which is funny. So yeah, I do work full time, but for myself, at least for now. Does that mean that you could edit the SQLite to cheat? Yes, you totally can. I don't stop it. If you want to do that, go for it. That's totally up to you. Nothing is being really sent. You're not communicating with any other people. So like, that's totally fine. If we add some sort of online features, I have enough data in your SQLite database or in the things that you do to be able to probably catch you or prevent you from cheating. So that should be fine, at least for now. If it's not, again, that's just the nature of this. We'll deal with it and we'll adapt and we'll change it. Am I using any UI library for this? No, I'm not. This is all my own custom components. I mean, the design is pretty simple, so, you know, and I'm just using Expo and like Expo router with like navigation. So like all of this is like just a modal, and then these icons literally just have like a border, a background color and some padding. So nothing really fancy. All of this just has padding, right? So no UI library, nothing really fancy. All of the buttons that you see are like my own buttons that I just created. It's super simple to like make a button, and I just did it, and it was simpler to do. And I use Tailwind for all of that. So yeah, let's see how the stream is doing. Oh, we're good, man. Nice. Let's see, let's go back here. I just want to show the KPIs first, my analytics, and then we'll jump in the code. And yeah, so this is KPI. So this is post hoc. Post hoc is what I'm using for my analytics. If you're ever building like an app or something and you want analytics, they're a great tool. Essentially what I do is I have like a function, a hook inside of my code, and then I just send custom events as people do actions on the app. And my goal is to track how many go through like a funnel, which is all of my KPIs, key points of interest, right? What do I really care about in the app in terms of a user action that I want to see if people are doing it and if they're actually like using it how it's supposed to, right? So I created this myself, right? Did this chart, this funnel myself. It's a funnel technically. And as you can see here, the first step is onboarding welcome. And this is a screen. So this is tracking how many unique people see the onboarding/welcome screen, which is the first screen when you first open the app that says Habit Quest, level up your life, get started. That's the first screen, right? So that's how many people opened the app, how many unique people opened the app. So far, we have 48 people. Which, you know, a chunk of that is from like the App Store review team, but like the other chunk is you guys. You guys have been jumping on this and you've been using the app, so that's great, right? And then out of that, how many people go to the customized character screen, right? So that's the third screen, right? So I don't track every single screen. The reason I track this customized character screen is because I wanted to track, see there's a slight drop off, how many people that see the customized character screen actually customized character. So you see here, this says screen over here. That's because this is a screen event, like a screen view when you view a screen on your phone. And this, because it's in undercase, in camel case like this, it is a custom event that I've sent, which gets sent after you actually customize your character, right? So I wanted to see, okay, we have 43 people that saw the character, and then 38 people of those actually customized the character and proceeded to the next screen. 5 people dropped off. This value was, in terms of percentage, was much higher before because the App Store bots or whatever didn't do this. And I was a bit worried that people were not customizing the screen. So this feels quite okay, at least so far, right? We see that people are opening the app and then they're actually getting to customize the character. It is normal to like lose people every step of the way. That's just the nature of it. The point is you don't lose too many people. Like I'm seeing here, we lost a lot of people. I'm not sure why, but let's see. So then we go here. Then from customized character, people still went to the schedule screen, which is the main home screen of the app, right? So we're good there. But now if I can see here, interesting. So we have a huge drop off of create a habit. So 36 people went to the schedule screen. So 36 of you and whatever others went to the schedule screen, but only 11 of you created a habit. Why? Right? That says something, right? And this is, by the way, the first time that I'm seeing this live on stream. So I'm now asking myself the question, why did people not create a habit, right? Why did 69% of you, 70% of you drop off, right? You didn't create a habit, right? Is it not clear that you have to create a habit? Maybe you were just curious about the app and you didn't really bother using it. That might be a thing, right? You're on this live stream, you're curious about the app. My audience is like React developers, so not necessarily people that would 100% want to use the app. So maybe you're just curious. You go through the onboarding, you get here, then you see what the app is like and you're like, okay, I'm done. That might explain it, right? So again, very interesting data, right? Something to analyze and something to perhaps adapt with. And then we have complete habit. So out of 11 people that created a habit, 8 of you completed the habit, which is good, right? That's only 3 people dropped off, right? Which is decent. And it took you on average 10 seconds to do that, to go from create a habit to complete a habit. So this tells me that you're testing the app, right? You're like, okay, let's create a habit, let's complete it. You get to the complete screen and maybe even the onboarding task completed, because here we have 5 people that actually completed that, but it took them on average 2 hours and 9 seconds. Interesting, right? Again, this is one kind of set of people, which is you guys on stream. I also want to try to get, I have another like YouTube, TikTok channel, a personal channel. I want to post it there and see how those people behave, right? And yeah, just iterate. Maybe this means that it's not clear that to create a habit, or maybe this means that creating a habit and the habits in general are not something that people want to use. I don't know, right? But this is very interesting. So that's one of the things that I'm going to look at. Complete a habit and then onboarding task completed. At least it shows me that the people that create a habit, they seem to be at least completing it and onboarding tasks. I'm also tracking like how many people reach level 5 and stuff like that. Again, I'm not expecting anyone to like, reach level 5 or something today. But who knows, right? Yeah, so that's one thing. And then if I go back here to the product analytics, I also have another thing that I'm really interested in, which is the 30-day retention. So this is another chart that I created. Again, PostHog is really cool because it allows you to like do charts like this and just completely based on your events and things that are happening in the app, completely see what everything is happening, which is really cool. Watching you all create and organize them later. Organize what? Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for the feedback, Gianni. So yeah, maybe you're watching the live stream and you're just like not down to do your habits right now. We'll see how this data evolves over time, if it changes, What do I think about Zustand? I love Zustand. I really do. And it's my default for state management now over Redux. Yeah. For what it's worth, I've used Redux years ago, like 2017, 18. I was using heavily Redux. And back then there was no Redux toolkit. It was extremely complicated. There was a lot of boilerplate code that you had to write. And then I stopped using it after a while. I just went to GraphQL for a bit, and then I went to React Query, and then I've been using React Query a lot. And I haven't really found many use cases. No, I did use it for a big app like 3 years ago. I did use it for a big app, but then since then I've moved to Zustand just because it's simpler, less code, and just easier. But they're both fine. They're both like completely fine to use. What tool are you using for analysis? PostHog. So let's go here to home. Okay, it's automatically going to sign me in. Let's go here to Chrome. Posttalk.com. How developers build successful products. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just love the product. Very developer friendly. Just use this, integrate it into your application, send custom events, and then you'll be able to track all of these events. Yeah. Why are you deleting my message? No one's deleting your message. If it is, then it's YouTube. My hands are here, dude. My hands are focused. I see the chat, but in another screen. I'm not deleting anything. If it's deleting, then it probably maybe something that is triggering YouTube's auto spam policy. I don't know. Because I didn't delete that one, right? I see it. So, yeah. Yeah, so this is the 30-day retention. So that's another metric. Again, I created this myself. Yeah. So here you can see, let me just edit this actually to just make it a little bit cleaner. Let's do 7 days because honestly, the application wasn't out for more than a day. This is going to keep track of every time that users use the app in how many days. So as you can see here, we have day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and so on, right? Day 0 is when you get the app and you install it and you open it for the first time. I register you as a user in the analytics provider, and then you use the app and whatever. You eventually close it and you may or may not use it again. Day 1 is the next day. How many of those initial ones used it the next day? And then day 2 is the day after, day 3 is after, and so on, right? This is 30-day retention, or like in this case, 7-day retention. What you want to see is you want to see people use the app day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, right? If they are not using the app, then it means your app is not valuable. They don't care about the app. They're not down to like use it, right? And that's a problem and you have to fix it, right? So currently we're sitting at 10.5% for, that was yesterday, September 11th. You guys did not know about the app. These were most probably like bots from the Play stores, at least from what I saw in my analytics. It's fine that this is low. I'm only considering it from today, right? From the 31st. So actually, can I just edit this? 0. Is this gonna work? Yeah. Yeah, there you go, right? So September 2, I'm only concerned with you guys over here, right? The 31, right? So day 0, 100% of you obviously used it at day 0. Very interesting. Where can I get the app? Go to habitquest.io, habitquest.io, and select your platform and just join the public beta. So yeah, let's see. I'm going to see how this is tomorrow, right? These are, by the way, all of your guys. It's completely anonymous. So like these are just your IDs. So I don't know who each one of you is. Let's see how tomorrow, how many of you actually end up using the app, and then the day after. And then I'm going to like make educated decisions based off of that to, you know, see if this app is worth using or not. So that's the analytics. That's the app. Now we're going to look at some code, because I'm really excited. Come on, there you go. Yeah, so that's the analytics. We're gonna keep this here for now. Now we're gonna actually look at some code to see how I managed to do all of this, right? So what's the stack look like for the app? So it's Expo, React Native, TypeScript, Tailwind, Expo router, SQLite database, everything stored locally, and then Supabase later on for like an actual API endpoint if we need. Cool. Oh, yeah, cool. So let's look at the code. So this is HabitQuest, the actual code. Let's open up layout and then app. This is the main kind of entry point to the application. This is where everything is driven from, right? So here I have like a bunch of imports, right? That's usually what you see in like projects with a lot of code, a lot of files, right? This is getting to be like a pretty big project, you know? I have some things here for Sentry, which is what I use to track errors. So if you guys are getting any errors in the app, like if it crashes or anything, I will get the error sent to Sentry. So I'll be able to like actually, you know, use it, check it out and debug it, right? So that's Sentry. Then I have the query client, which is React query. So again, all of this is driven by React query. So that's really cool. And then, oh, here's something interesting in React query. I have a lot of query that like need to invalidate other queries in the application. And by default, when you update something, like let's say that I create a habit, it will not automatically update the list of habits unless I manually invalidate the query. I didn't want to do that for all of the different things that I have to do. So what I did is I just added a global mutation cache object where you can specify some things to do, or like whenever you have a mutation that apply to all queries and all mutations in the app. So on success of any mutation, I just invalidate all of the queries in the application. Some of you might say this is unperformant. I haven't found it to be, because it only like refetches them when you actually see the data, right? So it's not going to start refetching everything on the app every time you do something, but rather it just marks everything as stale, and it just refetches all of the data every time that you next request it, which, you know, was a simple solution to solve my problem. So that's what this query client does, and that's why I have this mutation cache over here. Then I have my root layout. I get the scheme from the device, which is like light or dark mode. I plug it into Tailwind. I have a custom Tailwind utility class to like plug it into. I then load here some fonts, which again, simple stuff. Then here I have a use effect to basically check the background color and the device theme of the app, and then just set the UI background color. This is something specific to React Native, just so on Android there's no flickering or stuff like that, because I had issues like that in the past. Then I have all of my providers here. Most of them are third party. Some of them are my own, like this Toast provider here, which is a custom component that was built completely from AI, which is really cool. I've started to integrate AI in my workflow quite a bit. So, you know, it's really useful. But other ones are like the query client provider, that's React Native. Actually, a lot of these are my own. Gesture handle root provider is not my own. Query client is not my own. Drizzle is my own. I do here with like some mutation stuff. That's my own. So I just use that. Auth provider is my own, where I get the actual session of the user and do some authentication stuff. Something with Supabase, which currently is not really being used, but it's there as a base to like use it later on. Then I have the character provider, which I use to just get the character. And also I have a mutation here, which is really cool. This is how I damage you from your missed habits. So this runs every time that you open the app or that you foreground the app, which means you're like, even though the app isn't closed on your phone, maybe you're like switched to a different app and you come back to this app. I also run the mutation again to like check if you damaged, if you have to get damaged, and then I'll damage you, right? So that's how I did that. And then I provide the character to my entire application, because this character, I use it in like a lot of components. And this is a simple way for me to just share the character with every single consumer really in the application. And I just pass it here, the character, I fetch it through React query. And then if the character is not there, I just return null. So that now with this custom hook over here, I can just access the context, right? And the context here is going to have the actual character. I'm guaranteed to have a character always. So I never need to make this check ever again in my application, right? I do it here once in the provider, and then I provide the checked character across my entire application. And then the entire application can just have access to the character and not need to do any of these null checks. Why is React very complex? I don't find it so, but granted, I'm biased. I have experience in it. So maybe that's, you know, not fair. But once you get a hang of it, I promise you it's going to get a lot easier. So just stick through it. Hey, Coslin. Hey, Code. What's up? Yeah, so that's the character provider. This is actually a great pattern to do because here I have the character from a query, right? This is like React query. So I'm just using like used focus query. That's my own hook on React query, but it's basically just using used query over here, right? So nothing fancy. And that's what it's returning here. Usually if you want to access the character, this, as you can see here, can also be undefined, right? So to do anything with the character, like console.log character dot and do anything like charisma XP, you have to put a question mark over here. What happened? Charisma XP. charisma XP. There. You have to put a question mark because this can be undefined. I didn't want to do this in every single component because I use the character a lot. So I created this hook, right? And I have access to the character, and then I just use character instead. It gives me access to the not undefined character, which solves my problem. Cool. And then I have a bunch of providers. I'm not going to go into them because it's pretty boring. And then I have my roots, which is like all of the roots that I have in the application. We've seen some of this with like the previous live stream, so I'm not going to go too deep into this as well. I have all of the different like pages across the application and how they're supposed to render, what titles and everything that they have, and pretty much that. Then we can go, what can I show you? Let's go to inventory grid, right? Let's see how I did the inventory grid, right? So that's something that was not there in the initial version on the previous live streams. This is something new. So I set here a number of columns, and then I get my translation key, which I have for every single page or component. I have some hook here to get the dimensions of your actual device, because I use that to figure out how big the character should be on your device. I have a selected item state variable here, which is used when you hold the inventory and you select an item to be able to move it across the inventory. I use that. Then over here, oh, as you can see, yeah, I didn't touch this component in a while. See over here, this is a great example. Use character query. I'm still using the query directly. I shouldn't do this. I should do instead use character. And then we should import this. Do I have it? I think I already imported. I should import this directly. And now I no longer need to make this check over here for is character null. Oh, that wasn't even used actually. Okay, so never mind that. We can just remove it. That wasn't even used. See, we just fixed and improved something better, right? So I removed the character. It wasn't used in this component. It was probably used at an earlier point, just no longer. And then we're just checking the inventory here, which is fine. I don't use the inventory that much. I could have put it in the provider. I chose not to. It's totally fine. Then we have, I just basically make an array from the maximum inventory slots, which is a constant in my constants file. It's 20. So I make an array of 20. I map over each item in the array. I then check if you have an item in your inventory with that position based on the index of the array. And then I also check if it's selected. So if the item is actually the selected item, and I pass all of this to this component inventory item slot, right? So again, everything is in a separate component, single responsibility principle. It is pretty efficient. Then I have the inventory item slot component defined in the same file. It's not exported, right? So again, no need to, it's only defined here. It's not used anywhere else. I receive all of these props, which, you know, is fine to pass props in your applications. Why not? I'm passing selected item, set selected item. That's fine because that state lives here in this component, but this component needs it. So I'm passing it as a prop. That's totally fine. No need for context, no need for state management. Just pass the prop. Sometimes it's fine to just pass a single prop, or in this case, a couple of props, right? It's fine. It's not prop drilling because they're not really passed any further down, right? So it's, again, perfectly valid to do. Then I get my user, I get the dimensions again, and then I have this update item position mutation. So when you update the item, that's the mutation. And then handle update item position, that's the code for it. It essentially tries to mutate async with the item ID and the new position, then sets selected item to null. Otherwise, if there's an error, catches it, and then shows an alert. Simple stuff. Then I calculate the item width. So I use dimensions.width divided by number of columns. And then this 14 here is essentially the padding from Tailwind. I think of like, what is it? I think of like 4, like P4. I think that's 14 or something like that. That just, again, I pretty much guessed this value. That just gives me the correct padding and makes the inventory actually show up here. Maybe on dark screen, it's a bit better. Makes it actually show up even on all sides, you know, and it's just there. So that's how I did the inventory. Then we have a pressable, delay long press 200. On long press, I basically select your item, right? On press, there's a bit of logic here. So if the slot is empty and there's a selected item, I basically update the position of the selected item. So this is basically, I go here to the inventory, I select one. When I press something, if selected item, so yes, and we have item, then I just update that item position and it goes there and everything is happy. Everyone's happy. If there's no item at this point, do nothing. This check has to be here. I just don't remember exactly why this check has to be here. Oh, right. Because this component renders an item, but also renders the empty slots over here. So if I press an empty slot and I'm pressing right now, there's no item, obviously do nothing. If there is an item, right, then you open this thing. But if there's no item, you just do nothing, right? That's how I set this up. Yeah, so if selected item is null or selected item.id equals item.id, I'm just gonna actually open the model. So if there's no selected item, or if the selected item is the one you're trying to click on, it just opens the model like normal, right? Simple stuff. If it's another item, as you can see here, else, it just swaps the basic items and the position of the item. So if I press another item, it's gonna swap the items as well. All of that is handled in this function over here, this update item position mutation, which is update item position. That's my backend code, if you will. So it gets the item, right? Throws an error if the item is not found. Then we have transaction, finds an existing item that might be in that position. And if there is, it just swaps the position. Otherwise, regardless, it will just update the position of the item, right? It's a simple function, just swaps the items, and then the front end just calls it in this mutation here. And that's it. Everything is well documented. So if you're a new developer trying to work in this, you will understand all of the different cases and it should be pretty clear and straightforward. Camera died. Ooh, let's see. Sir Cosden, I'm really struggling about using the environment in React. Can you make a video about that? Definitely. I am definitely. That's a very important concept and I will. Thank you for the suggestion. Your videos are really amazing. I always find your video for every React topic. Good. And there's going to be more to come. I'm happy that you find the videos useful. And I also want to learn TypeScript. I know JavaScript really well from Jonas Schderman. Yeah, I know the guy. Course, can you tell me any resource to learn TypeScript? I have a video that is JSX to TSX in TypeScript in React and how to go from one to the other. I would check that. That's a good starting point. And then I would just have you actually start slow with like TypeScript, right? And like start just adding TypeScript to your project, putting everywhere that you don't really know the types of what you're trying to do, and then just slowly work and build up kind of the knowledge of TypeScript. And you're going to see that eventually you're going to start to get it. It's not, it takes a bit of time to just get used to, as with anything else. But it is, you'll get the hang of it once you use it a bit, right? But check out my video. It's a definitely good starting point to do that. Let's see. Okay, you guys are talking amongst each other. That's great. Fine. Anyone used React Native MMKV for state management in React Native? I've heard of it. I haven't used it. I think it's legit, but I would just use Zustand or Redux because you have, I think, most of the functionality. But I think MMKV has some like encryption persistence things. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe you can use those in combination with Redux and Zustand, I think. I might be totally wrong. I don't know, but I think you can do that. I would check that out. But again, if you want to use MMKV, you can also use it as well. The last video with code pattern in React from Cosden is useful. Thank you. I put a lot of work into that video and you guys have loved it. It's my best video by far, which I'm very happy about. Use Jotai for state management in React Native. That's also an option. You can use Jotai. It's made by the same person, I think, that made Zustand. When doing Next.js, is the backend API same goes with it? What do you mean? Do you mean like in Next.js, you can make your own backend /API using the API folder, and it comes with your code. So it's, yes, I think that's what you mean. I'm doing something similar here where also the backend, which is not really backend, is what was I saying? The backend is all part of the same code because again, it's no real backend. It's just like the actual functions are running in the same project, co-location, if you will. So yeah, you can also do that. JSX to TSX was a really good video. I'll make more on that. Thank you. Much appreciated. I thank you. I have to think about the videos. There's so many videos that I want to do, but I have to be like careful and selective and strategic about the videos that I do. But there's so many contents. I have like a list of like videos that I on my Notion that are pending to do, and I'm going through them one at a time. It just takes time. And I also come up with other videos in the meantime, so that list is ever growing, which I guess is a good thing. You guys get like videos. Hey, what backend do you usually use on making API? Do you still use JavaScript or do you use another language? So for the longest time, I would use Python as my backend. I actually started developing with Python. That was my introduction to code in general. And I would use Flask, which is like a framework, a light framework, to have my backend. Gives you like an API and stuff like that, and you can just go with it, right? And that served me well for a while. But eventually I realized that like I didn't have the same types like across my code. I had to duplicate all of my types, especially after I moved from JavaScript to TypeScript. I had to type everything, and I was like, oh man, like nothing is automatically typed. I would get errors like missing properties from the front end to the back end because I forgot to like type something and stuff like that. So now what I would do is I would honestly use like, if I'm trying to build an API, I would probably use Next.js just because it's simple and it's built for that, and it has like server components and all of that. So I would use that. I have used Express as well for like some other projects and stuff. I've used it. I've used a lot of like offline first. So like just doing the backend here, like in the actual SQLite database and stuff like that, right? So it depends on the project, but if it's something with a proper API, I might use Next.js. If it's something that's an app like this, I might just do it locally on device. If I don't control the backend, I would work in Python or whatever, or Go or any other language that you want to use, right? Also, Next.js is a whole program itself. Like you're not using Node.js for API. Yeah, it's a framework. That's what the term is, and it's a full stack framework. So it allows you to run a front end and a back end in the same code base, deployed kind of, you deploy it in the same place, ideally, right? To Vercel or whatever, and then it just runs and people can access your URLs and they can access your API through the URLs as well. And the benefit of that is like you have everything in one place and you can share types, share code, share schemas and a bunch of different things, and it's efficient. It works. Yeah, let's see. How's the live doing? I haven't checked in a while. Nice, we're doing great. We're doing great. I will go just for a little bit longer. I haven't talked in a while, so my throat is like starting to get fatigued. Yeah, that's the item grid. What do I want to show? I want to show the items, because that's my biggest file. Items.utils. The item.utils. That file, man, I have spent so much time in this file. Let's see how big it is. Yeah, look at this. Look at this, guys. It is 1,300 lines of code. It's a big file, and it holds. It's mostly just data and a couple of functions. It is a big file. So how this works. So everything is the main chunk of the thing in this file is this concept of like an item template. So let's first go and see what items, right? So I have item here, which is a model. This is like the database model, the backend, if you will. I have all of these internal IDs here. This is essentially all of the items in the app. So you have axe bronze, axe diamond, emerald, boots, plate body, helm, so on, right? They all have IDs and they're all like named in a certain way, right? To be like kind of alphabetical. And the name is a structure. So it's always like thing and then modifier and then material or color or whatever, right? So like staff, oak, sword, bronze, tunic, one, green, stuff like that, right? So that's all of these items, right? Then I have the rarities, which is common, uncommon, rare, and then legendary. Each one has a specific purpose, and I plan to hopefully use these in this app moving on. Then I have item slot. So the slot on your character that the item can be on, right? So that's back, body lower, body upper, feet, hand left, hand right, and head, right? So back is like capes, body lower is like pants, body upper is like plate body, feet, hand left, and so on. Explanatory, right? Then I have item type, which it can be armor, axe, bow, cape, consumable, other, shield, staff, and sword. I mostly for now just use these on the market. So if you see here on the market, press the coins. All of these are organized by section. So you have swords, armor, shields, and so on. That's basically driven by this item type here, right? So that's my item model. Has an internal ID, is equipped, Boolean, the rarity, the position. That's the inventory position. Maybe this should be renamed inventory position. Fine. The slot, the type, the character inventory ID. So that's a relation to the character inventory. And then created at, updated at, and then just a table index, right? So there is some backend code in here, like actual database and relationship and stuff like that. But it's all local. It's all on device locally. So that's the item. Now we have this concept of an item template. So what is an item template, right? I have the item is in the backend, but what's an item template? So an item template is all of the items with custom data that are used for the app, but not necessarily used in the database. So for example, effects over here, right? So what effects does this item have, right? And this is an optional because not every single item is going to have actual effects. My God, there's like an army of dogs outside and like people honking and stuff. I can't see outside. I have it blacked out, but like, I don't know what's going on outside. Give me. Yeah, one of the things of living in the Balkans in Serbia, it sometimes gets wild outside. People are honking and scary sometimes. I once was driving on the highway and like there was a protest and literally 50 to 100 people jumped across the gate, whatever, on the fucking highway and like caused a crash, man, like right in front of me and behind me. I thankfully got away, but like, who goes on the highway? Like, just jumps on the highway while cars are like on the highway, man. It's wild. It's shocking, man. And like, I don't know what's happening outside right now, but there's always something happening, man. They're insane. But it's fun. It's an adventure. So yeah, where were we? Effects. So yeah, every item can potentially have some effects. And if you see here, item effect template, a type. So this actually gets stored in the database. And it's using the template to store that. But essentially, it can be like a heal effect or a streak freeze effect, right? And I can add any number of effects that I want. And then I have value int or like value percent. So like what value does this effect have? For example, heal, I might do value int, so like heal 100. Or I might do value percent, so like heal 100%. Streak freeze, I only use value int. I say streak freeze 3 days. So with that, I can create like a streak freeze in the app, right? It makes sense. So that's our item effects. That's the way that I was able to like customize and add any effects, and even in the future, add any sort of effects for any sort of item in the app. So that's that. You're from Serbia? No, I'm not from Serbia. I am living in Serbia. That's a whole story. I'm not Serbian. I'm Romanian. So that's my true identity. I'm Romanian, but I lived most of my life in Canada because my parents emigrated for a better life when I was very young. So I grew up and was raised in Canada, but then I decided to leave Canada because that wasn't for me and move back to Europe. And then I've been moving around in Europe for like the past 5 years. And now I'm in Serbia. I'm in Belgrade, which is very close to Timișoara, which is my home city in Romania. So, you know, I'm here. I'm not Serbian, but I'm very close to the Serbian culture. So, yeah. Is this React Native or JavaScript? React Native and TypeScript and Expo. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So Then rarities, right? That's the rarities that an item can have. I'm not sure if I want to use multiple rarities or just one. For now, it's multiple. Then required attributes. So I'm not storing this in the actual database because it's irrelevant. I'm just storing it in a template, and then I use the template as like a source of truth for what an item can be. And I do that for the slot, for the type, for the value, which is like the price. And then I basically use that to create an item for you in the actual database. So let me show you. When you go here and you buy an item, so I go here to item API, I have a function here called buy item, and it just takes in an internal ID. So which internal ID are you trying to get, right? Then I get the template for the item based on item templates internal ID. And I use that template over here. I get the value. I get, where is it? I check like the attributes and stuff like that, right? To make sure that you have the correct attributes to use that item. And then I make the transaction. I find the position in your inventory by find inventory smallest position. That's a function that I created. I then update your inventory and I subtract the coins minus the item value. And then I add the item, right? And I basically say is equipped false. The rarity is just the first rarities of that. Again, not sure if I want to do multiple rarities. I give it the slot. I give it the type. Maybe this is redundant, right? I put it here in the database, but maybe having these two here is redundant because I can always get this from the template as well, right? Is to be decided. Then I get the inventory ID and the position, and that's the item that you get in your database. That's what makes it yours, right? But it's using the item template to get the data from. The item template is also used over here in the actual market to find what is the price of everything, what required attributes does this item require, and if you can buy it or not, right? I use the same source of truth, right? So that's the item utils over here, right? So that's what all of this does. Then I export this because I need to use it sometimes in other places. And then I have this massive object from like line 32 all the way to like, my God, to like 910, which is a lot. And these are all the different items. So streak freeze 1, effects, type, streak freeze, value int 1. Simple enough. Rarities, legendary. Streak freezes are legendary. They're not of this world. They're legendary items. It makes sense. Required attributes, intelligence 10, type consumable, value 1000, right? I can completely customize each item. If I want new items, I just add them here, and then the app knows about them and can pull them and use them across the application, right? Then I have sword. Sword bronze, rarity is common, required attributes, strength 1, slot hand right, type sword, value 15, right? Simple enough. That acts as my source of truth. And then you buy, you sell items based off of this, and they go in your inventory and stuff like that. Welcome to Serbia, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Why I see our company or organization script or codes, I get to feel everything I'm doing is wrong, even it's working. Dude, first of all, if it's working, good. You already got that done, right? So it's working. You can move on to the next step, which is to make it better. And it's fine if it doesn't... if it's not the best way. This code that I've written here isn't the best way. Like we have like slot and type in two different places. Maybe we shouldn't have this. Like it's fine. It's all about continuously improving it, continuously seeing how the actual project and the requirements of it change, and taking it as you go. So it's totally fine. You just have to believe in yourself and keep going, because you're all going to get better. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can actually do it. That's the most important thing. Is your ID still VS Code? No, it's not. It looks like VS Code, but it's not. I'm using Cursor. I've jumped on the hype bandwagon, and I have some thoughts on Cursor and AI as a whole in general. I might make a video about this because I think it's important as a React developer. I like it. I find Cursor worth it. So if you don't know, Cursor is like an AI-based fork of VS Code. It basically allows you to like have this composer here, and you can use a model, you can type things, and it can like add things across your entire project, which is cool. It's not as cool as people make it out to be. It's not as good as people make it out to be, but it is cool. And it also has a better autocomplete than what I was using before, which is VSCode. It has a better autocomplete. So for example, if I just do something like test and then put test here, okay, it doesn't know, but if I come here, let's see, enter, it knows about test, and then see here, tap to jump. You don't have this in VS Code. Let's tap to jump. Tap to jump. It went to trousers 1 brown, and it already knows about test. So if I just press tab here, it knows about it. Now I have another tap to jump. Tab again. It went here to tunic, test. I can press enter. Tap to jump. It goes here. Ooh, it knows a lot more, right? It has autocomplete on multiple lines. I love that so much, and it's making me like 30% faster, which for me is worth it. I don't use, let me just undo all of these things. I don't use this as much, like the composer. And actually, let's try it. I'm just not going to do anything. Let's say, what can we do? What can we do here? Move. No, add a new, let's do at code base. And then we're going to do add a new screen called, what can we call this screen? I just want to show something for like test purposes. We have market, we have called shop, where users can buy diamonds, which we don't have in the app, where users can buy diamonds and exchange them for coins in the app. Use all the files required to make this happen, right? You just give it this instruction. It's going to search for files, and the better your description, the more files it knows how to do. And now it's like going to start creating different files. Like I have shop.tsx, diamond purchases.tsx, diamond exchange.tsx. Look at this. This is like, I joke with my girlfriend, this is like a slave, man. Like you just pay it like $20 a month, and like it just does all of this work for you. Look at how many files. And here's the thing, right? Like it knows. So let's look here. Let's just wait for it to finish. Let's go to like diff view. It gives you a diff, right? So like this is shop.tsx. This created like a new screen. This follows my trans key over here, which is the pattern that I have. It knows that I like function notation for components. It knows that I use translation as like a hook. It knows to use my screen component and also to use Tailwind the way that I like to use Tailwind. Like this is spot on. This is great. I didn't have to write this. Then you go here. Oh, it's using diamond purchase section, diamond exchange section. Okay, so we have all of this code that it wrote. Again, it created like buy diamonds mutation. I didn't have this in my code. It created it. It created the handle purchase function, which tries to await and then even shows an alert. That's my own custom alert in my actual project, right? It does diamond exchange, same component, right? Probably has a mutation. Then it even created the mutations themselves because I create mutations for things. It knew to do that. Use mutation, right? So, but it's not perfect because you see, I never do anymore on success here because I have it in the global mutation, in the global layout file. So that's a mistake. So you have to, it's not as good as you think, but it's wild, right? Then it created the use exchange one. Again, this shouldn't be here, but it's fine. Good enough. Then you go to shop.ts and then see here. Oh, it created buy diamonds. It created exchange diamonds for coins. And then it, to do implement actual payment processing logic here. And then it did this. It's not quite correct. The syntax here is a bit broken, but damn. Like it wrote this. And the thing is, I can like keep prompting it and say, okay, change this here, right? I can accept this file and reject another and say in this file, change something. and I can get it to do what I want it to do eventually. It's not perfect. It's not as good as people make it out to be, but this is damn good. It knew to create a screen in my layout file. But then it also like changed, like why did it remove the S here? This is tabs. I have multiple tabs. I want it to be tabs. So you have to be careful, right? Don't just blindly put the code. And then it knew to add all of these translation strings from one prompt. And our prompt was like just this. Imagine if I had like a detailed prompt of like even a template. This is how I like to make my components. This is how I like to do this. This is how you create functions, whatever. It's great. The only problem with this is people use it to build entire apps, and the apps are functional, but the code is trash. Because the code will have things like this that don't make sense. And then if you don't know the code and you don't know how to like fix it, you're going to try to prompt it to fix it. That's going to take this bad code and it's going to find a way to make it work, but it's not going to be good code. This specific example needs a human intervention. Like, hey, that's not how we should do this. You need to know about code to be able to make that suggestion. A lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon that do not know how to code or do not know well how to code. And they're spinning up these like AI apps that are functional. And they're like, oh my God, this is the future. But that app cannot be maintained. And at some point, the AI is going to run into an obstacle it cannot defeat. And then it's either you or another developer, or you just drop the project because it's unmaintainable. That's my take on this. That's what I feel this is going. But if you know what you're doing, and if you know how it works, what its shortcomings are, phenomenal tool. Like, look at this. I didn't have to do all of this, right? Sure, it's not perfect, but man, I don't have, do you know like how tedious it is to create a function, to create a component, create a file, redefine the translation key, go in my en.json, add, I don't want to do this. It did it for me. It's not perfect. I can use prompts and I can go and change it afterwards. I have built features in the app using this with a few updates, and it saved me time. So I like this. I feel this is better than VSCode because it's a fork. So it has everything VSCode has plus all of this stuff. It is a bit expensive. It's $20 a month and you have a limit, a cap on how much you can use. That's just the way of it, unfortunately. But for me, it's worth it. When you take this and the additional Copilot, it's worth it, right? So if I want to build a feature now, I first run it through it, get it to write a lot of the code, and then just make my edits, and it's usually much faster. So, right, I'm wild. We're going into a place where like you will just speak English to it and it'll do it, but I'm just very afraid of the quality of the code, and you still need to be a developer to know like how to actually use it properly. All hail Optimus Prime. There you go. Yeah. It's not transformer key, dude. It's translation key. Translation key, my dude. And the reason why, I almost closed my OBS. It's the translation key that I pass here to the translation string, because this app is like international. At least it's priming to be. I mostly use AI to create dummy UI components and layouts for me. Yeah, definitely. That's what I use it as well. Cause an AI is a slave. Yeah, I mean it is. It's the modern slavery. And it's soon gonna be free, guys. Like we're gonna get to a point where like it's just gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be free. You're no longer gonna have to pay for this. It's gonna be so cheap. Also, everyone that's building an AI product now that's like, oh, doing this with AI, doing this with AI. Even this cursor is going to be obsolete eventually. The only reason cursor is like valuable right now is because they're the only ones who have like this specific user experience, user interface with all of these different files. There are others that are coming out, but that proves my point. There are others that are coming out. Eventually, that's going to be so trivial to do. It's no longer going to be a special feature. This is going to become obsolete. It's like everyone that made an internet company, like an e-commerce store in like 1999, that's become such a commodity. You need something else. You need to actually provide value. the AI itself is no longer going to be value in the future. It is now because it's new, and we're just in this constant race of like, oh, we can do this now. This company can do this. But eventually, every company will be able to do everything. It's going to be so basic, just like the internet. Whereas like having internet now is no longer a feature. It's just a thing that you expect. Same with AI. Those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. Was there some drama in the chat? I see some drama. I hope there's no drama. Guys, be chill. This is all about code. This is all about like building cool apps and like being cool. And just like, forget drama, man. I'm just go and work with an AI. An AI has no drama. You just tell it what to do. It obeys and it's phenomenal. It makes a mistake and then you whip it when it, I'm just kidding. No, you just correct it when it does gently and you be nice. Again, there's no AI rights yet, but maybe there is going to be in the future. Yeah, guys, I'm going to call it a stream. I'm dead tired. We're at 46 people. That's fine. I am dead tired. My voice is losing and I have to film like 2 videos tomorrow. So I'm going to take it chill. This is the app. That's the overview. It's out. Go download it, habitquest.io. If you haven't already, use it. Let me know on the feedback board if it's good, if it's not good, and we'll take it from there. Starting next week, what are we going to do on the stream? I'm going to close out with this. What are we going to do on the stream? I'm going to start, I found like a tool will allow me to stream at the same time to like Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, probably Facebook. Probably not going to do it, but at least those 3 or 4. And I'm going to stream no longer specifically on something that I'm doing, on a specific thing, but rather on whatever it is that I'm working on at the moment, which might be the Habit Quest app for foreseeable future. But if this app becomes something else, it might be that other thing, right? This officially concludes this playlist. So if I go here on YouTube, Cause and Solutions, and I go here to playlists, over here, build a habit RPG with React. This video, this stream right now concludes this playlist. It's done. We launched the app. It's out. We built it from start to finish pretty much using these videos. That's done, but I will still stream. I'm now, I guess, officially a streamer. I will still stream. You'll be able to catch me same time on YouTube, but also on Twitch and all the other platforms. I will see how it goes. It's going to be new for me. And we're just going to do more dev stuff, right? I'm going to share with you like what I'm doing dev-wise and just a place to hang out, you know, like a chill place. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's check once more the analytics. I'm just curious. I just love analytics. Let's just see the analytics once again and then leave it off with that. Let's refresh this. Do you have any React Native Expo tutorial? I do. Simple one, but I do. Check it out on my channel. Oh, so we got more people since then, but I think a few more, so that's fine. Is this ratio, I want to get this ratio up, man. Create habit versus the people that saw the schedule. I want to get this ratio up. Let's see what we can do. Good. Cousin and Twitch, it will be wild. I hope so, man. I hear Twitch is like the place to be. So let's see. And I'm only doing it because the software that I got allows me to just do it on all platforms. So let's see, man. I have no idea how Twitch works. We'll figure it out together. And yeah. So yeah, 52 people on the app. 15 of them created habits. We can do better. And KPIs, and the other one, we can't see data because we need to wait for tomorrow. So hopefully, let's see how tomorrow goes. There you go, guys. Yeah, so I'll catch you in another stream. Also, we just published now a newsletter. Today, actually, we're going to publish... Oh, my camera died. Can I fix it? Can't have the camera dying on my last minutes before going out. There you go. Yeah, if you haven't joined the newsletter, join the newsletter because we're doing something cool. I just published a very cool video about like design patterns in React. You can check it out. It's my latest video on YouTube. There's a document that I've put there on design patterns that you can access. Join the course if you want to learn React and like really take React to the next level. And yeah, guys, yeah, I'm going to call it a stream. It's been 2 hours. There you go. I'll catch you guys next time on different platforms and here as well. Don't worry about that. And we'll see where the app is in a week from now. I'm going to do some stuff maybe, but we'll see where it is. Cool. Thank you guys for being here. Much appreciated. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I certainly did. I'm going to go rest my voice now and just chill a bit. And I will catch you guys in another video, in another stream, in a course, in a newsletter. I'm everywhere. You can't get away from me. Let's go. See you guys. Have a good one.